Hey, 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 happy Monday. Let's see if this is working. Happy Monday evening, guys. This is the Monday night family show. We'll see if she's going to work tonight or not. Let's see. Again, this show always works best when you participate. Participation is key. I did see it did post up on, I think, YouTube and Facebook. But if y'all are watching, if you hear me, please tune in and post a comment. That way I know that you are on. It is late, late, late. I am tired, tired, tired. And yeah, so hey, what can we say? It's Monday night. Another Monday night. Another Monday night to go. After last Monday night, well, we have to redeem ourselves for this Monday night. One thing always stays the same on Mondays. Monday night family shows are always a whirlwind. You don't know which way the show is going to go. Some nights it's about pigeons, sometimes it's about me, sometimes it's about just life in general. But it doesn't matter because what's the great thing about this world? There'll always be another week coming of Mondays until they figure out a way to change the days of the week, which they might do that. Hey, what's going on, Nelson? What's going on, Milton? Aloha from Hawaii. I did want to see if we are on YouTube, which we are. I wonder if we are on Facebook. Let me know. What the hell? I kind of thought to myself throughout the week, I says last week, the last like couple of Monday nights, this haven't been very good. I haven't felt like it. But you know what? I can't let the people kind of get you down sometimes, or the people get in your head, or whatever bullshit it is. And no point in doing that. We put 7 years into this show, so if I give up, then that means they win. If I quit, then that means they win. And that's never how you're going to win. In life, you don't win by stopping or quitting. You win by pushing through it and going to the distance. That's where winning comes from. So I have to obviously practice what I preach on that. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have bad days. You can have those bad days, but it's all about dusting yourself off and starting it again. Last week's show, I had one lovely person kept calling to stop the show um, because they wanted to come on the show, but then they had to ask their father if they could come on the show. And you know, I'm not going to get going down that road, but it screws up everything. And then you got to talk on the phone to somebody for an hour about if their dad can let them come on the show or not. So, you know, that's keeping the Monday Night Giant fan. Oh, I'm going to keep it going. Like I said, I can't let the people down that watch the shows week in, week out for 7 years. This is like Cheers, God damn it. You're all going to watch the train wrecks anyways, and we're always going to have those train wrecks. So that's fine by me. And again, I always say to people, you're more than welcome to come on our show if you want to talk on a Monday night or whatever. It's not a problem. Just, call me beforehand and so I can send you the link so we can play the game together. Don't call me in the middle of a show to come onto the show because this isn't a radio station, so I can't take your calls. But, I get it. Some people just don't have the intelligence, but I don't think that's what it was about. I think they tried to sabotage the show so we wouldn't talk about how poor their races are run. But, that's what I want to hear, Ryan. Yes, yes, yes. You always want to hear that. Guys, listen, it takes a lot to keep me down. Really, it does. If you know anything about me. I see people make posts on the internet about one-off races. And I get people that call me one-off races. And I think it's some weird. Well, it's happening. It's happening. I think one-off races have been going strong now since the early 2000s, getting stronger and stronger each year. And now we're starting to hear, and I don't believe this, but a one-off race family or a one loss race strain. I'm not buying it, man. I can't get my head wrapped around this. How can you have a one loss race family when, in all honesty, the none of the races are run even closely to the same? I just don't buy this. But people are starting to ask me. It's like they say to me, like, I want to buy birds. Okay, well here, let's go to the Lambrechts. Let's take Lambrechts for instance. Okay, they're crushing it the last 2 weeks in the Burlar area here in the Diamond Vermont. Just crushing it, just head over fist, boom, boom, boom. And they've never flown a one loft race. They're not interested in it. I take their birds to a one loft race hands down because they have a natural talent. The birds have a natural talent. Yes, the pigeon men are fantastic, but the pigeons are superior to the men. I know this. And I'm not taking away anything from the Lambrechts because they're at a higher level than maybe I'll ever get to. But those pigeons are at such a high level of natural talent. The natural talent pigeons are the pigeons you want for one loft racing. But people go around and they say this one loft race family. No, it's do you have luck that weekend? I mean, did you put 100 birds into the race? Did you? And at the end of the day, are you lucky? There's no real skill. There's no real skill to one loft racing. None of it. I don't believe there's a skill in it. I believe there's luck in it. Okay, and that's it. And yeah, there's pigeons maybe that can get to the finals, but I just think the races are so you can't get a read on the races. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the races are bad. I'm just saying you can't get a read on it. Thanks for keeping it going. Yeah, I'll keep it going. Milton, that's what I like to hear. Thanks, Ryan. Aloha to you in Hawaii. Club birds will succeed in OLRs, but OLR birds won't do both. Well, that's because OLR birds don't have the talent because they haven't been worked. So if you want pigeons that haven't been worked and you're going to bring them home and send them to one loft races, they're just luck pigeons. They're just luck pigeons. I'm watching these people, I'm hearing people, and they keep going on and on and on about this one loft family of pigeons. Could someone get me a family of where one loft pigeons are? Where are they? Where are they? I'm going to take this for an example. David Clousing. I think he's pretty good in one loft races. He's pretty good. He don't win every race he goes in. He gets up there. He doesn't win every one. And I'm using David as an example. I'll take a guy like Gallo Loft in Spring Hill. I look at him. His Florida results are fantastic. His one loft races are fantastic. He puts in small numbers with great results. It's because he's flying in the GHC there. He has the pigeons being tested. The harder you test, when you go to the one loft races, the more luck you will create for yourself. If your pigeons have a lot of work and they play the game week in and week out for yourselves, when you send them to a one loft race, they should excel. They should excel. In this area here in Belgium, I always thought deep down, I said, these guys, they don't fly one loft races, and they laugh at it. And they actually laugh at it like the world's a joke. But I get it because they can race and race it. They can race long distance, middle distance, short distance. They can race the Tour of Belgium. They don't need to put birds into a one loft race to have no training, to have no work done, to not even be able to trap pigeons, to not even be able to trap a pigeon. Last year I was being nice. I looked at the races in our local area, okay? And I have to thank people who put videos out. I have to thank people who go to these races and put the videos out because most of the time the races won't do it. And unless the races are really dumb and they put a video out, but it doesn't look right. When a pigeon comes from a race, those winning pigeons have to hit like firecrackers. Okay? They got to hit like firecrackers from 100 miles. They got to hit like firecrackers from 200 miles. And sure as hell, when you go to the final race, they got to hit like firecrackers. And I mean, basically, those birds in that first hour, they got to they have to trap like greased lightning. No sitting on the board for a minute and a minute and a half. When I'm seeing birds sitting on a board for a minute to a minute and a half, red flags show up. Did the birds go to the destination? Were these birds even close to that destination? And why in the world are they performing this poorly at the final race? Why? Well, it's simple. The one-off races, they take the money. They don't want to lose the pigeons. So they tippy-toe around. Everything's tippy-toed. Tippy-toe, tippy-toe, tippy-toe. They're hunting for the nicest days of weather. They're hunting for the easy days to get them home. And hey, when they say, we're going to take them to 100 miles, hell, if you take them to 68 miles, you're close to 100, aren't you? Or if you take them to 85 miles, you're close to 100, aren't you? And I think this is what we're seeing. And my frustration is that I must be the only one that can see it. But maybe I shouldn't see it. And maybe I shouldn't point this out to you guys. I think when you take someone's pigeons for a one-off race and you're going to put that work in, and this isn't all the races, I'm looking at certain races that I see. Certain races that people go to and they put the video footage up of how their birds are trapping, how the birds are acting. And the common thing is, here's the number one excuse. Well, on the main race, there's normally 100 people in the yard. There's 150 people in the yard. And the pigeons can sense it. That's just word salad. You have to know, if you're taking this race on, and I'm going to give this one to Ron Steinbrenner. I knew Ron Steinbrenner just a little bit. People might say his race was good. Some people might not like his race. But he had a little backyard that was the size of he had a pigeon loft there that was what, 40 feet, 45 feet by 6 or 8 feet. He had a swimming pool that had a deck over top of it so people could go on it. It was like you could park in his backyard. His backyard with his lofts, in total, you could park about 8 cars. That was the backyard. And he normally had anywhere from 100 to 150 people in the backyard. And we would come and watch the races, and the pigeons would trap, honestly, like dynamite. They would come and they came in really good. They never had a problem. They were never nervous. They were never shy. I mean, not everyone, but always birds came really, really good. And I mean, the people you could literally touch the landing board when you were sitting there waiting. I mean, literally, if you spit, you could spit and hit the landing board. The pigeons had to come over. And, I was talking with Jody Steinbrenner one day, and Ron, we were sitting there in his home, and I said, yeah, your birds come in good. You put a bit of work into this so they don't act stupid on race day. And he said, yeah, during the school year, I get the kids coming from the local school to come over, or I bring a classroom over, and I take the birds training, and the kids are in the backyard, and I sort of teach the pigeons to get used to it a little bit. And, you're playing with the feed a little bit. And I thought, boy, that's pretty good. That's an intelligent thing. That's putting a little extra work in. I like that. No excuse. And last week I'm on the show, and maybe I'm running down a race, or I'm giving my opinion. Which, forget what my opinion means. What does my opinion really mean at the end of the day? It does not matter. or you guys do whatever you want. But I still have my opinion. And I was nice to the Upper Canada one loft race. They did a good job last year. Not bad. The year before was crap. Last year, they did the best of the whatever ones that were around here. I'm not going to include myself because I don't think it's fair to. But in the same token, when I get phone calls that I'm going to get tuned up, I'm going to get tuned up and tuned up and tuned up. Well, that's fine. You can tune me up. I'm all about it. But if I ever get tuned up, you guys will be with me because we're going to get tuned up together. Okay. And that's fine. And that's all I said to UC was, you called my show to come on. And if you would have called me before and said you wanted to, you're more than welcome to come on. I wanted to get UC on before that, but UC had to ask her dad, which is Big Andy, and she hadn't asked him yet. So I'm hoping to get them on. And then we can talk pigeons. Because that's what it's about. It's about talking pigeons. Because I want to know how they're going to do a better job this year than last year. Everyone wants to know, what are you going to do better this year than next year in your auctions? What are you going to do different next year to this year? What are some things I can do next year to make my auctions better? You got to think about that. What can I do to make my one loft race get birds this year? What do I have to do? What do I have to do to not piss anybody off? What do I got to do? You have to be quiet. You can't say nothing controversial, and I get all that. But at the end of the day, guys, always remember you're paying into these races. And have you ever asked yourself if you're really impressed? That's just my question. What impresses you in a race? All great questions. Dave Crozier, where's Ricky? Ricky, hopefully, maybe next week he'll be on the show. Ricky's taking a little hiatus. So hopefully we have Ricky back on. Um, yeah, on Saturdays, 6 p.m. Ontario time, Canada time, New York time, we do the show with Lars Losberg. And again, guys, if you are watching this and you can still hear me and I'm on, please let me know. I honestly want to give you a page to go and follow. We'll want to watch Lars go as I talk about. There's the page there. A good friend of mine. He really is a good friend, and he's a friend beyond pigeons. He's a hell of a good guy. If your car's broken down in Holland, he'll come and get you. If you need just someone to talk to, he's your guy. If you just want to go out for dinner and you don't have to talk pigeons, he's your guy. He's never asked me to sell a pigeon, nothing like that. They're just real good people. There he is. And on Saturdays, we do the show with him, and I'll post this up. We got to get back to the beers, which we haven't, but we will. But on Saturday nights at 6 p.m., Lars and myself come on, and we talk pigeons, pigeon racing. And I think it's a good show. If you guys want different tricks and tips and techniques, I think it's something that you will not be disappointed with. Very good show. Lots of fun. I'd rather send to a futurity race than an OLR. Yeah, I kind of, I was always thinking about this futurity race thing. And, futurity races were always bigger in the United States. I think they had like the Snowbird and they had different, no, they have it at the GHC and that. And, everyone wants to get their birds into the best guys' lofts. I get all that. My only problem with the futurities are the wind will play a factor, and it's whose loft you get them in. You know, if I go to Spring Hill, I want Gallo literally right off the top. I like to be in Gallo's loft. I've met him. I know how he wants to win. I know what he's capable of doing. That's what I look at. Now, who am I? I can't just call up Manny and say, "Hey, Manny, can I put in 25 birds?" No, you can't do that. You can't do that. So the only thing I had problems with those futurities were I just didn't want to donate and give them to guys that weren't out there to win it. But I think the great thing about a futurity, one thing great about a futurity is it was a one-off race. It kept guys accountable. So, you know, I'd say in this area here where I am, and this is only me, but I could look at this in the Florida area. So we'll take my area and the Florida area. Okay. So we've got the Niagara one-off race. We got the Upper Canada one-off race. We got the Pioneer one-off race. Is there another one? There's not. Okay. There's not. Now, in the area, there are 3 combines. There's the EOC combine, there's the Up North combine, and the Niagara combine. Now, think about this. If all 3 of those one-off races, and I'm talking, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Those 3 one-off races, they're all getting paid to race your pigeons. So they got to put the work in. Why don't those races race head to head? But every week they climb on another combine. So 1 week they're on the Niagara, 1 week they're on the Up North, 1 week they're on the Eastern Ontario combine. Or pick one combine and all the one-offs go on it. Now, the problem with that is the silly people in the combine will think of drag. Andy is going to have, we forgot about Oscar the Grouch, Oscar de Vries. Put your mittens on. Sorry, Oscar, you got to have thick skin. I drink too much. It's okay. If you put these one-off races that Andy's is going to have 1,000 pigeons, Oscar's going to have 1,000 pigeons, Niagara's going to have 1,000 pigeons, and Pioneer's going to have 100 pigeons. Okay? You put all 4 of those together. So you got now 3,100 pigeons playing the game. But they got to get judged against top flyers like Ian Sybil in the Niagara, like Joe Ferreira in the Up North, or Fernando Dietrich, or Sam Ferreira, or Chris Marshman, or Sean Whetstone, or who else is there? Or what's his name? Troy Spencer. They got to go up against these people. The pigeons have to now compete against these people. This keeps the one-offed manager playing to win because he apparently has the advantage with the drag. So you better make sure that you're out there playing. This is what I would do. Now, this is more of a good futurity. This is what I like a lot better. This has never been done. This will never be done because the problem is there's too many people that are afraid of the word drag. And drag only, the leading pigeons make the drag. Lars is a champion, says Mr. Tracy. Thank you. At least I know having the opportunity to pick a real pigeon fancier to handle my bird. Okay, and that is 100% Nelson. You are right about that. Because and we could say, I could say in David Tracy's combine, I could look at the guys and say, David Tracy every week is the top 3 guys in his area. I got to make sure I have birds in his loft. Every week I have to have my birds in David's loft, that guy's loft, and that guy's loft. The rest of them, I'm not overly excited to. But what happens is David can cherry pick who he wants. David can only take so many birds in. And then what happens is then you got to put birds into Billy Smith. Billy don't know what he's doing, or Jimmy John, or Tony, or whoever. and you're not excited, you're not happy, you're frustrated, and you wasted your money. But if the one-off races, even if the one-off races didn't go into the combines, if the one-off races played up against each other, it would be great. It would be great. Take a look in Spring Hill. What do we got there in Spring Hill? We got the Big Andy one and we got the Flamingo. Okay? Those two races there. Those two races, if those two races go up, the Orlando Pigeon Derby goes up, the Naples Pigeon Derby goes up, they can play no problem. No problem. They could all play against each other. We're talking one-off super futurity races. You can still do a one-off series, but you can do the one-offs versus the one-offs. Again, you heard this here first. I'm sure they will do it. I'll get left in the corner, but that's okay. The innovation. Mr. Teal says, Alvin, adjust your reconnect and disconnect. The futurity races, most guests don't know what the hell you are doing. Look at the results from the Midwest Convention last year, and look how those birds looked coming home from the final. You tell me. I don't know. I don't. When I've seen that, when you're in Belgium here and you see the best, very hard for me to compare. Most of the stuff I've seen is you shake your head. That's okay. You have to do your homework with the futurities just as much as you do with an OLR. Well, yeah, you have to, but at the end of the day, the futurity race, the guy can only take so many birds. Hey, yes, I'm still on. I'll stay here for you guys. Can't lose everything in life. You can lose a lot of things, but we'll stick it out. We won't let somebody get you down, especially a bunch of nobodies. Although the nobodies can get into your brain, I will say that. But if you think about it and you look at just what I said, if one-off races too were really, really smart, if they teamed up together, okay? So let's just hypothetically say Oscar, the Oscar De Vries race, the Upper Canada race, the Niagara race, and the Pioneer race. Okay? If there were 4 races going up every week together, okay? Every week they're going up together. They're all in 4 different spots, like a pie. They all go around like this. There's one in the far, one a little bit more in the middle, one in the middle, one in the corner. Think about it. If they all worked together, they all collected money together, they all talked together, they put up prize money for each race for overall winners together, the 4 races would grow and grow and grow. Actually, and if you just took my race out, put my race aside, because they won't want to play, and I know they won't want to because they just don't want me to be a part of it. If those 3 races just did it together, it would be incredible. They do that in Mexico. Well, this is what Sergio's saying. Now, I haven't been to Mexico. I've been invited to go to Mexico. Probably should go to Mexico. Again, just got to make some money to go to Mexico. It's all about money, right? Money to get there, money to stay in a hotel, money to eat, drink, and be merry. But and I say this as a plea, as a beg, as a for the love of the sport. I say it to the 4 one-off races here. All team up. All team up. You're going to build credibility. You're going to be able to. Now, Oscar doesn't like me, and Rick doesn't like me, and Andy doesn't like me. So you can maybe kick me out. Okay. They don't really all, any of them like each other, but probably they're all going to enter each other's race. So if those 3 races were to do it, it would be great. Now, I would love to do it. I would love to be a part of it. And if you went to the Up North Combine and asked if you could get on, you would take that combine almost up to 5,000 pigeons in a race weekend. Now, what benefits the combine flyers are, the combine flyers are not going to want to get beat. The guys that are out there to win, and I know the ones, they're going to get out there and put the work in. Now, there's going to be the guys that can win that say, I can't beat the drag. Well, those guys, you're never going to win because you're looking at it as an excuse. I will say something, guys. Next fall coming, I am going to do the Sorel Lambrex auction again. I think it should be probably one of my biggest ones. The pigeons are super quality, the man is super quality, and the results are going to be right there all season. The Lambrex pigeons, very, very good. No one bidding last week, but I got a smoking deal. Wow. Hey, if the people don't bid, take them and enjoy them. Ryan, they will never do that. The cream will rise to the top and make the OLRs look bad. But wait a minute, Nelson. You're so wrong, Nelson. Nelson, we're just talking friendly here. I'm going to say you're stupid. I'm not calling you stupid, but I'm saying that's stupid. Think about it. A one-loft race. Let's take the Upper Canada. They're going to take in 1,300 pigeons. They're going to make roughly between $100,000 and $125,000. Primo money. They're making some good do-re me's. They're professional pigeon men, as they say. They're professionals. They're putting up the big loft, the trailer, and they're putting it out. They're the big pigeon men. I expect them to win. I expect them to get out there and dominate. And the reason being is because all the people say that they send their best to the one-loft races. Hold on. Let me eye roll that one. That's your common girlfriend move. The eye roll. Right? Oh, God. Oh, no. Send the best ones. So, one-loft race. You got 1,000 birds, 1,300 birds from the people's best. Right? They've apparently created a drag. All they got to do is put the work in, and they should have you all beat. Now, I'm like you, Nelson. I don't think that'll happen. And I'm like you, Nelson. They don't want to see dirt kicked into their face. I said last week to UC and the girls, I said, if you guys want to fly, want to go head to head with your 1,300 birds and whatever I get, or whatever Ricky gets here, it's not going to matter. We'll play. You guys have the drag. Let's see when it's over. They don't want that because dirt will get kicked into their face. Now, dirt can get kicked in my face and I could get killed. I could do another boneheaded move and pull flights, right? You never know. You still have to play the game, but people are afraid to play the game because when there's real money on the line, they don't want to get dirt kicked in their face. So, Nelson, you're a very smart person. You're not stupid. I'm stupid for coming up with this idea. But if they were to put the work in and they take that money and they use it and they work pigeons, the bar raises. And you guys get exactly what you paid for. People that are working with your pigeons and not taking your money and sitting there doing nothing. And when pigeons come from a final at a 300-mile race, they take 1.5 minutes to come in. And the only common excuse that they can make is, The birds aren't used to the people. If we had a smoking economy, maybe people could participate in the auctions. Wake up Canada. The economic wait if economically, maybe people could participate in the auctions. Um, I think there's. I'm gonna tell you this: an auction is an auction, and when people are in an auction, you're gonna go up against people who want it more than you do. But I look at our auctions as a whole. Our prices are very good for the buyers. Almost every auction is good for the buyers. Okay, there are some birds that are a little high. I had a gentleman, he reached out to me and he wanted to buy two pair from Lambrix. Was it two pair? Was it? I think it was two pair. Two pair. And I called up Carl, or, I went over. Carl, can I come over? Okay. Went, look, select some pigeons. Really good pigeons. Right. Three pair of pigeons we selected. And I mean, my mouth was salivating. Just over 10,000 euros for the three pair. The three pair at our auction. And I thought the pedigrees were damn close. I think the confirmation was identically the same. It was the same pigeons. I think you saved in our auction almost $3,000. No. You didn't. You saved almost $5,000 because you paid in Canadian dollars. If you do your homework and you look, you will find our site brings you hand selected pigeons and it brings you right into the breeders. Put 7 years into this formula. It's still not perfect because I want to get the birds quarantine thrown in as well. And that's something I'm going to try to push for next year if I can. If I can get a little bit of that quarantine taken off. I don't know if I can, especially with what's going on there with the governments. Um, but yeah, let's see. Ryan, I think it's a good. It's. I think it be a great idea. It could be an awesome series, but gotta think they have way too much to lose to put their necks on the line. Yeah, but guys, I tell you this. You are the guys that make the races. Not us, the guys running the races. No, I know why they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because you guys haven't pushed them to do it. And there's an old saying, monkey see, monkey do. Great saying. Well, if two of the races partner up and do it, the other ones will look and go, I got to do it. I can't be left behind. Then I'm hiding something. So, guys, it goes for anywhere you're looking. It goes to anywhere. And that's one thing I'd said about the races there in California with the John Timmerman and the Ron Steinbrenner and the Holiday Cup. I always liked it. At least they did one race together at the end. But I think they went so good and long that they already needed that evolution to go every race. I think that would have been awesome. or a sprint series or something like that. And you know what? I'm not saying that the one loft races can't still have their own series. Have your own series. But why don't you do a 3-race series on your own and then a 3-race series against the other guys? So the birds go all the way up to 300 miles as your own loft. Then you start back at 100 miles and go 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles as a group. Think outside the box. And this is what I said to UC and them. This is what I said to Rick Fife year in and year out. Let's go together. Let's play together. If we play together, we will win. But you got to play. You got to play to win. Because I know if I play with 100 of your pigeons, guys, if you all send me one pigeon, okay, I don't want to lose. I don't want to get beat by him, and I don't want to get beat by him, and I don't want to get beat by them. So I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm not saying I'm going to win. Probably won't. But I'm going to work for you guys to win. Because my ass is on the line. And as Nelson says, or at least they have a lot of money to lose. And yes, they do. With a poor performance, they lose money. Think about it. Let's just think about this. The 4 races, the Upper Canada, the Oscar De Vries race, my race, and the Niagara race. Let's just say that Niagara race every week, pounding everybody, pounding them. Well, who's going back to the other races? So you have to have balls. And we know a lot of pigeon men that don't have it to do it. They can talk it good. They can sing and dance it good. They can call and interrupt the show good. But when it comes right down to it, can you do it? See, I said I'm not going to do any more Monday night shows. I can't not do that. That's not me giving my best. That's not me respecting the people that have tuned in for 7 years, 5 years, 3 years. People that have tuned in for 3 weeks. You guys is what makes this all go around. And sure, we get ding dongs like I'm going to say Mike Vandiak. Sometimes I shake my head, but Mike is that guy. He's going to be that guy. Crozier's that guy. Jeff Henderson's that guy. You all know how it is. There's all different characters in these shows. Again, if you look at the Howard Stern show, there was the Whack Pack. The Whack Pack was whacked, but that's why they were the Whack Pack. Now, Mike's probably upset that I told him off and said that he had no clue what he was talking about. And I felt that. He's always welcome on the show. We got some more comments. I read that comment. Hold on. Ryan, I got to think. Ryan, I got thick skin. Call me whatever you wish. Then tell the difference between banter and being serious. Yeah, I wasn't. I was saying, like, you know what I was saying. I don't have to tell you. Listen, I make about 500 stupid comments in a day, and some of them are really stupid, but it is what it is. Let it go like water off a duck's back. Jeff Henderson says, your auctions are the best as you're my reading sucks. That's what's true. Your auctions are the best as you and the breeders hand select them. Yeah, we do. Or we try to hand select to the best of the quality. And there's times, guys, that I have to give or take a little, and I do that. You do it. You hand select it, and sometimes there's a pigeon that's not your favorite, but it's got all the right breeding. It's not a bad pigeon at all. Is it perfect? No. I'll take that one because you have to give and take with these breeders, okay? I'm not looking for 4 duds or 6 duds. No. I'm looking for 4 to 6 super top quality pigeons. Pedigree and in the hand. Now, in the hand can be a 10 Pedigree can be a 9, 9.5, 8, 9.5. Fine. Or reverse. Sometimes pedigree can be a 10 and the bird can be a 9, 8.5, 9. That's giving and taking, giving and taking. Sometimes in an auction, you'll see. For instance, the Peter Vandermeer auction. I had a direct son of Zorro. Black, direct son. No. The pedigree was a 10. The pigeon in the hand was a 6. I couldn't do that. The pigeon in the hand would have been an 8.5, 9, yes, but the pigeon wasn't. So, and that's not knocking the breeder. No, we get the selection of what we want. So maybe I take another top quality pigeon instead. It's the same thing. If we look at the direct sons, I'm using Peter again. I don't know why. I think that was just an interesting auction. They had the Olympic Recall pigeons. I wanted Olympic Recall. I wanted it to be a grizzle. I didn't want it to be a checker or a blue. And we got the nicest grizzle that they had. Now, it was a blue grizzle, and the father was a red grizzle, and the mother was a checker, but it all still in the end worked together. Let's get to the comments. I love it. It would make them accountable and make them work the pigeons hard. Let's see the bird's true potential. Hold on. Nelson, yes. When you guys get up every day and you go to work, and you do your job. You come home and you take care of your family. You go home, you buy your pigeons. You go home, you feed your pigeons, you clean your pigeons, you scrape your pigeons, you dream about your pigeons. You're putting all your hard work and potential into your home life, your bank accounts, your pigeons. And then you take that money and those beautiful little youngsters and you ship them to a one-off race. And you ship them, and what happens? The people, they're afraid to play them, to get the maximum out of them. Because if you're going to get the max out of something, what happens? You're going to lose. Take a look at the Navy SEAL training. I'm not American. Take a look at the Navy SEAL training. What is it? Sometimes in a class, like 250 guys that are like machines show up, that'll chew up and spit out all of us. What do they qualify with? 20 guys, 30 guys, 40 guys, 10 guys, 50 guys? How many thoroughbred, hardworking steel men can't take the mental abuse to do it, to do it, to do it? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the truth. And I know, hey, every year if you do a one-off race and you take in 1,000 pigeons at $100 a pigeon, you're making $100,000 for doing what? You have wire floors, droppings all go through. You got little post perches. You don't have to scrape nothing. All you got to do is walk out there and feed them. Open the chutes, sit them in the big aviaries, open them up. Basically, they break themselves because all you're going to do is sit on the roof. Oh, every once in a while, you flag them. If you're really lazy, you get one of those things that go up in the air and away you go. What work are you doing? Hey, you get a trailer, you back it up to the loft, you make a hallway to teach them to walk through. You can basket 1,000 pigeons in under an hour. Is that really a lot of work? It's a lot of money, a lot of at the top. Take a look at it. You take a look, and I'm not going to knock this here. Very smart. Take a look at the Upper Canada one-off race. Sorry. You got Andy's daughters doing it. Did I'm not sure how much they know. Sorry. I don't know nothing about making Subway sandwiches at Subway. I don't know it. Or Mr. Sub. I don't know it. I don't know how to make souvlaki on a stick. I don't know. Not my thing. I don't know that. But I know they don't know a hell of a lot. They're taking in 1,300 pigeons which is great money. People aren't holding any accountability to it. Bang for your buck. Shouldn't drop names. It is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It's my opinion, eh? It's my opinion. JD Teal says the issue I see with OLRs doing races together, how are they going to do the payouts? Well, JD, each race, okay, each one laugh race can have their own payout. But you are flying in it, right? JD? So let's just say, JD, you're flying in my race. Oh, let's say in the no, JD, let's say in the 4 races. You're flying in my race and you're flying in the Upper Canada. And the other 2 you're not in. So when we go up against the Upper Canada, when we go up against all those 4 go together, it's a buy-in, right? So maybe you have to put in $10 to win the other one's money. So all the money, it's an additional $10 per bird. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So if you put if you're flying into Pioneer and you put the 10 extra dollars, you're flying for the other bird's money, each person that puts up 10. Now we're just using 10 as a number. It could be $100 a bird, be $50 a bird, it could be whatever. So that it's the one-off races keep their money for their race, but then there's a buy-in, there's a buy-in, there's a buy-in, there's a buy-in. So all that money comes together. So each race will have an overall for their one loft, and then they'll have the overall for the 4 races, or the 4 one lofts. So you're going to take money from Niagara, you're going to take money from Pioneer, you're going to take money from the Upper Canada, you're going to take all that money. You buy into it. A la carte, baby, a la carte. Well, Crozier, I got to put you in that category because, Dave, you're Dave Crozier. You're a whack packer. Come on. There's nothing wrong with being a whack packer. You guys know something. Howard Stern. He's one of the best interviewers in the world. One of the best. One of the very, very best. It wasn't always the best, was he? He worked on his craft and got better at it. Now, I don't listen to him at all. He does more serious interviews now. It's great because I know he's a good interviewer. But he'll always be remembered. Most people will always remember him for the whack pack. The weird, the group of 10 or 12 guys that were a part of that whack pack. Beetlejuice and Eric the Midget and all those guys. You can go anywhere and talk to like, Howard Stern, yeah, whack pack. Who's your favorite whack packer that people know? Maybe I'm wrong, but you're going to remember the whack pack over his great interview with Billy Joel. One of the best Billy Joel interviews ever was with Howard Stern. I remember that. He did the best interviews with so many great people, but his whack pack stuff, because they were on all the time, it was that was the show. Anyways, let's get to the comments. I go by you and Lars grading. The video's just awesome. Well, tune in again, guys, on our Saturday nights, Saturday night flights with Lars. Lars and myself, we just talk pigeons, pigeon racing. Only one problem with Lars. He hasn't figured out how to become a professional pigeon man. He's got it, though. Never look back. Bang. So, yeah, that's sort of some of the things I think about. And I know people get upset when I use people's names. I hate watching interviews when people won't use people's names. I hate it. But that's my downfall. That's something that I will do. I'll say, like, I don't like this about this person. I don't like this about that person. I don't like it. And the only reason why I'm saying that to you and I'm using the people's names is because then you're going to ask me, well, who are you talking about? I think a couple of weeks ago I said LD. Who's LD? Who's LD? Or whatever the name was. I didn't drop the name. Drives you guys nuts when you don't drop a name. That wasn't even a name. I just made that up to get that reaction. Who are you talking about? 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 I'd rather just tell you. That was one thing I always laughed at with my good buddy Tony Elvis, also known as Shitty. He would always say to me that there's a lot of people that talk stuff about you. I said, well, who was it? Well, I can't tell you. Well, if you can't tell me, then what are we doing here? We trying to gaslight? What are we doing? What are we doing? One of the best people I met on this planet was Bill Fletcher. If you guys knew who he was, the people in this area, Bill Fletcher, he was the straightest shooting guy. He just shoots straight. He'd cut you right down. Wouldn't cut you down in a bad way, but he'd center you out, or he'd give you the straight answer, like straight. And I think I always looked at that and said, man, that's one thing that the world misses today. So I'll take that from him, but that's kind of a detriment. Dropping people's names, right? It's not good to do. Is it good to do? Might as well just be quiet, not be honest, or just hold it back and let you people think, well, who is he talking about? I told you, Lars, I think in a few years you might see a real superstar professional pigeon flyer. It's there if he wants it. He just has to go out and get it. Yeah, Mike is watching. Mike's got a little sensitive because I told him off about his bullshit single tossing the other day. And I thought it was bullshit. I challenged him. Hey, let's put some money down on the table. I'll fly from Belgium back there. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do. I told you guys that I'll go to Belgium. And I told you guys that I'm going to do auctions. And I told you guys that I am going to hand select the pigeons and bring you the best that I can get for you guys. And every year, I've upped the bar. I've upped the bar. I've upped the bar. I've held myself accountable. And sure, am I going to fly in Belgium? Everyone keeps saying, are you going to fly in Belgium? Are you going to fly in Belgium? Are you going to fly in Belgium? You have to wait and see if I'm going to fly in Belgium. Do I want to fly in Belgium? My question is, let's not ask if I want to fly in Belgium. I want to fly in Canada. I want to fly in America. I want to fly in Denmark, Iceland, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Spring Hill, Florida, Romania, Portugal, England, Ireland. I want to fly wherever I can fly. Never ask me a question if I want to fly pigeons. I love flying pigeons. That's my thing. Okay? That's my drug. That's my drink. That's everything. That's what goes around in my brain. Breeding is breeding. Nah, not the same for me. But racing, just getting down and playing with pigeons, taking something and working together with it and bringing it to a level, and then going out there and watching it all come together. We call him Ricky Seven. You guys probably don't know why he's called Ricky Seven, but I know why he's called Ricky Seven. And for you guys not watching, a few years ago we had the one loft race where it was divided. The blue loft was Richard's and the red loft was mine. And I liked that. I thought that was so much fun because it gave Ricky and myself an opportunity. Both lofts were darkened, and we started racing right from 2 miles. I don't know if you guys remember it. We had the 2 mile spot, the 10 mile spot, the 25 mile spot, the 50 mile spot, and the 80 mile spot. Okay, 5 spots. So before I read that comment, it took me off the fun part about it was in all the training I whooped them. My darkening wasn't as good when it came to the first. I think it was the first 7 out of the 9 races. I couldn't. I was there with them, but I couldn't beat them, and I had to adjust at the end. In the last 2 races, I lit them up, but that's pigeon racing. What kind of birds is Lars flying? Well, ask him on Saturday night, JD. He'll go through and tell you. Gang One says you wouldn't get in the first 20 pigeons in our club. I don't think. You're right, Gang One. I probably wouldn't get in the first 20. Probably wouldn't. And that's okay. Sure like to be there. Sure like to try it. And the best part is, every time I come to that club from that first race, I know what you said to me. I won't get in that first 20. And the greatest part about that is, Gang One, that right there is that fire inside of you. That's what you light inside of me. That's great. Because you're damn right, I won't get in the first 20. My goal will be to be the first 20. Slim chance, bright hope, Gang One's right. Gang One knows it, right? But all I have is a slim chance and a bright hope. In my brain, I'm not going to think about can I get in with the first 20. I'm going to work the pigeons in a way in my brain. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm going to say, let's try and take the first 20. Slim chance, bright hope. Going to try my best. Probably not going to happen because, hey, but that's the fire that it lights in me. For the Ricky 7, we got the Ingram Racing Group with 20. Jason Mihalik with 12. Uh, Shane and Lance Dennis with 5. Is there anybody else? No? No? I think that's good. We got a Chinese guy somewhere in the States that signed up but didn't put any birds in. And we got some Feathers Elite young bird auction. But I don't know who I'm going to get for the young bird auction because all the people that have won my race don't want to come back and participate. You know, your Brad Wogans or your Ellen Suttons. I understand this. Or your Ian Sibbles. Guys that you would ask for putting birds in. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to ask anybody. So I got maybe 20 birds, 25 birds. LOL. To what Gang One? I was told that I was told that 3 seasons, and I was buried out. I won't too much. Bad deal when you tell guys that. Um, I'm gonna tell you something. Wherever I go, I will be always at the bottom because I don't really get to play pigeons for real. And I'm gonna tell you something. I love to cook. Working with pizza dough, I can't do it. I can't do it. Can I do pizza dough? Yes, I can. I've got to do pizza dough every single day. I got to learn to move it with my hands every single day before I can get good at it. And flying pigeons. Oh, Jeff Henderson wants to put a team of 10 in. Okay, Jeff, I will ask Leah about that. My apologies. I didn't know. Okay, guys, so we've got Jeff Henderson with 10 from Down Under. And Jeff, I'm going to tell you something, bud. I talked to Steven. I got to give you a call one of these days. I do got to give you a call. I don't know when. Every time I see you, you're on a boat and you're in your mankini. Jeff, if you ever come to our loft or wherever I'm flying in the world, you got to bring your mankini because you rock that out. God damn it, guys! Hendo, the mankini. The only problem with your one mankini photo was your wife took it from behind. You should have had a choof glass in your hands. Just saying. I miss you, my friend. Thanks for your support. Thanks for keeping posting up the photos on your cruise in the group chat. That's real nice. And again, I'm super sorry I got sick on that last day. I literally almost died. Next time we get together, Hendo, I'll give you the food poisoning because that was brutal. That was brutal. But no, I look at it as, and I'll say this: if I have to fly against Gang One, Nelson Pigeons, JD Teal, Jeff Henderson, I say to myself, these guys are real pigeon men. I'm the guy that sells pigeons, right? I might be the guy that they think is going to be the best. I have to work really hard to beat them because they're going to bring me their very best. I'm going to have to work so hard because I don't want to look bad. I don't want to look like I have no clue on what I'm doing. But when you don't play with pigeons, when you don't have the opportunity to raise pigeons, I'd come to Canada, go back to my house on Bloomington Road, and I wonder if I called up the president of the Up North Combines. I like to fly pigeons. I would like to know what they would say. I'd like to just fly pigeons now. It'd be interesting, eh? Book me in for the next tour as well. God, Hendo, what do I gotta do, man? Hendo, how the hell are we going to get Americans and Canadians on the trip? Or I don't care, anybody. Gang One, you should come on the trip, Gang One. We'll have a good time. We'll talk some pigeons. Oh, you can tell by the way I talk. I don't know. I read a book, Pigeon Racing for Dummies, JD. And I think the thing that really irks, I guess it does irk me, and maybe I can be a bit sour on this, but I can be honest, is that you will put up a race. And JD, I seen you made a post the other day about the only races to go in are the big ones. And I get that. I get when you breed your youngsters. And I think about it this way. So I'm going to say this. Let's say I'm going to put in 20 birds into one loft races. So I pick 4 races. Each race I'm going to put 5 in. I really want to pick, and if I think I have it, I have good stock, I have good quality, I've been racing them hard, I think I'm going to be lucky. I do want to put them into one-off races that are going to have a good payout, big money. I don't want to go to the Pioneer. Sure, they're going to test the pigeons. But what am I going to win? $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, maybe $10,000? If I go to the Hoosier, if I go to the California Classic, if I go to the wherever, I could win 50 grand, 80 grand, 100 grand. I get it. That's for the big races that can only produce you money without the quality. They do it. They have that advantage. To be fair, I can see you giving it 100%. I love you. Yeah. Hey, and Gang One, I will give it 100%. It doesn't mean I'm going to win. But I know one thing, and I'm going to say this to Gang One because I think Gang One gets it. If I went to Gang One's club and I moved into that town, and we introduce each other, talk, okay, I already say to myself, Ryan, I can't screw around here. I have to play hard now. I have to focus, very focus, because I want to make Gang One swallow. But One's right. I can't beat him. It's impossible. They're from England. They have more competition than ever anything I've ever flown against. They got the advantage. They're better pigeon men. Okay, it's true. But I need the motivation. And you know what? I'd rather be the underdog than be the guy at the top. Who wants to be the guy at the top? Come on, guys. Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 were great. Look at Rocky 3. He got beat by Clubber Lang. Why? Clubber Lang was at the bottom. Rocky was getting them easy fights. So I'll always use it to my advantage that way. You can always learn. And sometimes I'll talk cocky, sure. But I always like to stay hungry. I honestly look for what I am putting in. And if I don't win, but I get 20 to 30 place, I still cover the costs. And I agree. I think when you're flying one law phrases, this is another thing. My late very good friend Bob Bodden. His name was Fuzzy Bodden. I almost called him like my grandfather. He died of Parkinson's, and I'm still pissed off at his wife. I never got to go to the funeral. Me and him were best friends for 10 years. He never came to one of my auctions that I ended up doing ever. Never came to an open house. That was shitty. And that's okay. But, he said, do you want to win in one law races? And I said, yeah. He said, you have to enter the minimum amount. What are you talking about? He says, for instance, let's take the $1 million race. Okay? You send, what's their minimum team? Was a 3-bird entry. 1 activated and 2 backup, sorry. That's it. He said, if Africa would allow me to send 1 pigeon for 1,000, I would send only 1. And I said, well, why would this be? He says, if you send the lowest number, you can get your money back easier. So if you go to the Hoosier, they have a 1-bird entry, right? I'm just saying. You put 1 bird in. Now, let's say, for instance, at the Pioneer, right? Pioneer. You get as many birds as you want for 1,000 and what is it, $1,077? The activation is $107 a bird. He put a couple birds in. Not very. He wouldn't put 100. He put maybe 5. He wants to put the lowest amount in to get the most back. He's going for the win. The Upper Canada race, you can put 1 bird in for 125. He would put 1 in. But you'll say, well, that's impossible to win, isn't it? It's impossible. Well, if you have a bird, like JD says, that scores in the top 20, 30, 40, most of the time, you make your money back. If you have 50 birds in, you don't. You don't. And your name's not Mike Gannis, so you're not going to sell them at auction and make 1,000 a bird, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 a bird. You're not going to do that because you don't have that name. Good pigeons win. I think you could get a hold of the best birds around. You should be able to compete if these boys maybe had what you could get your hands on, we would be miles away. Good birds win. Good birds win. But you have to get the good birds. You have to get the good birds. More and more people ask me where I would go to get pigeons. And I think next season might be a different season at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. I've done more research and more research and more research. And some of the names next year will be names that you ain't never heard of, but super result pigeons. And you have to think outside the box. JD says, I think your friends is onto something. 6 is 2 max per what a race to send to. All he said was, yeah, JD. So like JD, let's think about this. JD, think about this. Let's think about this, JD. Let's think about what Fuzzy said. Okay. You could enter, let's say, JD, you're sending 20 pigeons out. Okay? You look on that win companion and you see you can send a single bird to the Royal Cup, single bird to the Holiday Cup, single bird to this race, single bird, single bird, single bird, single bird, single bird, single bird, single bird. Now, testing a little bit differently. You're into some big races, some medium-sized races, okay? Boom, boom, boom. But you don't have all your eggs in one basket. To get out, it's easier. But on all those races, you're not going to win. JD says, my goal in an OLR is to get in the money. It's nice to win, but the money is my goal. Send 6 races, 4 to 6 in the money. I was happy. And I think that's very, very good. 4 to 6 in the money. And guys, how many people can get 4 to 6 in the money? How many people can get 4 to 6 in the money? Tricky to do. And if you're sending them to big races, now my question is, JD, in the 6 races, okay, that you played, from shipping, entry fees, race entry fees, all of that, did the 4 races that you won, did it pay you? Did it get you even, or were you negative? So 4 races got you even, 2 races were still in the negative. You always got to think, I almost need the races to get me out every year, to get me out, to get me out, to get me out. And this is, I think, my number one reason on why I'm having a hard time getting into one loft racing. I had birds one year. I put birds into Barry Hughes race. And then CL Gage told me they caught him letting them cheating. So you think to yourself, oh, God, like you put all that money in, and maybe it's true, but you hear different things, okay? You say, how many races are cheating? When I go to a race and I see birds that take a minute and a half to trap from 300 miles or 500 kilometers, they take a minute and a half to trap, I'm getting cheated. I'm getting robbed. Okay? There's something not right about it. Something not right about it. I know when I go to a race, I've been to the Texas Shootout the first year. It was run by CL and Ken Kelly there and Patty Gage. First year I was there at the Shootout, man, those birds came like rocket ships. Boom, they trapped like thunderbolts. It was a super fast day. I had the seventh ace pigeon going into the finals. I didn't win that day. I was an hour off the pace. The pigeon was black underneath. He wasn't right. That's okay. But man, I walked out of there and I said, they really did a good job. Start to finish, they did a good job. They did a good job. I didn't go there on a fast day and watch pigeons sit on the roof for a minute and a half. No, no, no. I was negative for 2024, 2023. I was 30K positive. So wait a minute. So you were 30K positive. You had a winning year. That's good. That's a good thing. 30K positive. Now, JD's got 30K to play with. And JD knows as well as I know. He's going to go out now and reinvest back into, he buy some birds, reinvest back into the one-off races and try and do it again. He's looking for the big win. He needs to play even or a little bit better than even. A little bit behind's okay, but you don't want to go complete wipeout. And my problem is with one-off racing, I just want to race pigeons. I like racing pigeons. And I travel. I'm traveling too much. I do want to say I'm happy that I come back for the Monday night show. Don't worry, guys. I won't let it go. You guys have been with me a long time, and we talk good stuff. We have good weeks and bad weeks, like anything. But that's why this show's real. It will always be that way. I can't cookie cutter it, and I won't do that. Then I'll go mental. I honestly messed up 2024. I sent babies out of unproven birds. I tested birds I should have sent. Didn't make that mistake for 2025. Okay. Oh, you were negative. I was negative for 2024, 2023. I was 30K positive. Okay, so I take it you were 30K negative last year, right? And this is another thing. I think too, and I like to say this to people. If you buy pigeons from our auction and you're flying in a club and a combine, maybe you're Mike Green, you're JD Teal, you're David Tracy, you're Yellowfin, whoever. You bring a pigeon from our auction and you put it to a top performing bird in your loft. I think your odds go up. I think sometimes it's a little more dangerous to take two imports, put them together, and see how that goes. Just saying. Not saying that won't work, but I like to do it that way a little bit. And okay, you were 30K positive for 2023, negative for 2024. Okay, there we go. Hey, that's honesty. I'm not against it. I've done JD in 2011. I was on top. I won some one-off races. I felt great. And then 2012 train wrecked it. 2013 won again, and then I kind of started to study it, and then I got cold. I sort of got cold feet on it. But whatever, it's okay. Anyways, guys, it's 3:30 here in the morning. I'm dead. I'm tired. Um, Good to be back. Don't worry, I won't leave you guys. I'll never quit. I can't stop. I won't stop. Uh, we did this for 7 years, and 7 years I've had people come for me and try to tear me down, and I won't be torn down. So, on that note, I'll be back on next Monday. Please, guys, we have an auction closing on Wednesday. Take a look. The Horman pigeons. Nice, great. On Saturday evenings, 6 p.m. New York time, Lars and myself will be spinning the ones and twos. I look like LaChouf the elf there with my Pioneer shirt on. So tune in. If you guys have questions for Lars, let me know. Um, Again, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me. And again, our one law phrase, hey, come on in and try it out. I love to get 500 birds so Ricky can play. And maybe I'll even come back and help him a little bit. Sometimes you just need that good morning. That good morning can take you through the whole day. I'm Ryan, Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Thanks for flying with me. I'll see you guys next Monday. Actually, I'll see you on Saturday with Lars. Bye for now.